Hello everyone, this is Mr. Steinman, and this video is dedicated to the solutions for our Unit 2 exam study guide. So I'll be going over each problem here, and you can follow along, check your work that you've done. So for number 1A, when a biologist starting observing a plant is 12 centimeters tall. So that starting point would be our y-intercept, as if you had 0 weeks under your belt, 12 centimeters would be the initial height of the plant. However, 1.5 centimeters is the rate in which it grows each week, so that's why you put slope is equal to 1.5. Therefore, the equation y equals mx plus b would end up being 1.5x, y equals 1.5x plus 12. How tall will the plant be in the 8th week? The scientist measures the plant. That's as simple as just plugging it in, as though x is equal to 8. 1.5 times 8 plus 12. 1.5 times 8 is equal to 12. You add 12 to that. Pure coincidence that both are 12. And the height in week 8 would be 24 centimeters. So in 8 weeks, the plant would be 24 centimeters according to this equation. For 1B, a bike delivery employee earns a flat wage of $22.50 for a day of work. While at work, every delivery the employee makes earns them an additional $3.25. So the slope is actually the rate in which every delivery. So every delivery is $3.25, so we can say, no, it depends on the delivery, and that's the rate that you would make per delivery. Every day you make the flat wage. Flat is the key word that hints that this is the y-intercept. It is the starting rate that does not depend on how many deliveries that you actually do. It's that you showed up for a day of work. $22.50 is the y-intercept. The equation would be, just as y equals mx plus b, y equals 3.25x plus 22.5. How much would the delivery person earn if they made 17 deliveries on a given day? Well, that'll be done. I would recommend a calculator for this, because we're going to just plug in x equals 17 here, plus 22.5. That should give you 77.75. So the earnings for 17 deliveries. If I delivered 17 deliveries, I would make a total of $77.75. $77.75. So now let us go on toward these graphs. So -4 indicates that the b is equal to -4, m is equal to 3/5. So the slope would be rise over 1, so you rise 3, and then you would run 5. And then we would draw that line. That would be our graph for that one. Here, b is equal to 2, m is equal to 3. So if b is equal to 2, we start here, and then a slope of 3 would mean 3 up, 1 to the right. Oh, my mistake here. We've got -3, meaning that it would actually be a negative slope. So you'd end up with this as your graph. F of x is equal to 1/4 x. So the y-intercept could be theoretically 0, right? So b equals 0. M is equal to 1/4. So that's our y-intercept. We already know it's there. Rise up 1. And then you run 4 to the right. And you would go there. That is your line. All right. Now, for the remaining problems, let's take a look. Next page. So it's asking us to write the equation of each line graphed. So the equation of each line graphed. So in this one here, let's look at that first one. So we can see here that b is equal to -3. The slope rise over run, 3, rise, 3, run. So the m is equal to 3 over 3. You'll know that equals to 1. So the equation is y equals x, because it's 1x equals x, remember? X minus 3. So that is our equation there. And for this one here, b is equal to 2, so we can see there. And you as you descend, you go down 3 and 1 to the right. So it's -3. The slope would be -3 for 1, meaning -3. So it would be y equals -3x plus 2. And this final one here, y-intercept b is equal to -2. And you would see here that we're going down 1. Even further, you go down 2 and 5 to the right. So -2, 5. You get m is equal to -2/5. As in, once again, a negative slope. So y equals -2/5 x minus 2, because b is equal to -2. Now it's asking us, calculate the slope between the given points. So now the slope between the given points, we got x1 is equal to -1, x2 is equal to 3, y1 is equal to 4, y2 is equal to -2. So our action here is to go, remember our slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then we got -2 minus 4, 3 minus -1. That would equal -6 over 4, which would give you -3 halves. -3 halves. For this one here, x1 is equal to 2, x2 is equal to 6, y1 is equal to -5, y2 is equal to 3. So our step here is 3 minus -5, 6 minus 2. You get 8 over 4, and you end up with a slope. 8 over 4 is equal to 2, which means that the slope is 2. For number 5a, a line has a slope of -3 over 4 and passes through the point 12, 5. So we happen to know that all we need to find is b. We have the slope, m is equal to -3 over 4. b is equal to, we don't know. And that's the point we got to figure out that. So we can plug in our y, be 12 times the slope, -3/4 times, I'm sorry, our y is actually equal to -5. Let me start over here. -5 is equal to -3/4 times the x, 12, plus b. -3/4 times 12 is equal to -9. So to find b, we just add 9 to both sides. And we should end up being 4 is equal to b. So b is equal to 4. M is equal to -3 over 4. So our equation, our full equation would be y equals -3/4 x plus b, which is 4. That is our final answer for 5a. Number 5b. It's giving us 2 points, no slope, which means we first need to find a slope. So m is equal to y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Using what we know here, you go is equal to 10 minus 6 over -6 minus 2, giving us 4 over -8, -1/2. So m is equal to negative 1/2. We still don't know what b is equal to. So let's plug in this one. This will be the one we can plug in. So we got 6 is equal to the slope negative 1/2 times that x, 2, plus b. We get 6 is equal to negative 1 plus b. Add 1 to both sides to find b, and b is equal to 7. b is equal to 7. So now we know that the equation, because m is equal to negative 1/2 and b is equal to 7, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 7. That is the solution for 5b. And for our final stretch here, we're going to look at the third page, 5c. Now, we got to look at what is the relevant information, because really, in the previous page, it asked us to find just the equation. We're just finding the equation. So let's circle only information that we need. We only need slope and y-intercept. These are the only things we need. So we got to identify what is this, well, what's necessary. So when you read it, we don't really need to know exactly. I mean, right now we don't need to worry about that. But what we can do is take a look at this. 3 weeks, 39, 6 weeks. So in 3 weeks, when x is equal to 3, you save 39. So we'll make that as our 1 point. We'll say point A. Point B, 6, 75. And then what we'll do is calculate the slope from here. So we know that x1 in this case is 3, x2 is equal to 6, y1 equal to 39, and y2 equal to 75. So let's do it. 75 minus 39 all over 6 minus 3, which would equal us 36 over 3 equal to 12. So slope m is equal to 12, and we still don't know the y-intercept. So let's just use 3, 39 to find b. Y equals, that y would equal 39, x is equal to 3, so in this case we'll go 39 is equal to, our slope was 12, so 12 times 3 plus b. 36 plus b equals 39. Subtract 36 from both sides, and you would get b is equal to 3. So b is equal to 3. So now we know the equation. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals 12x plus 3. That is our final equation. Now after 11 weeks of saving, would Humberto have enough money to buy the Jordans? If no, how many more weeks? So let's take a look. Y equals, after 11 weeks, so that would mean x is equal to 11. 12 times 11 plus 3. 12 times 11 is 132 plus 3 equals 135. And 135 is less than 150, so the answer is no. Humberto does not have enough money. If no, how many more weeks would it take? Well, let's take a look. 150 minus 135, that is equal to 15, which means it would take, to get to 15, it would take at least 2 more weeks. Because in 1 week you wouldn't get to 15, you'd only have 12 more. And then finally, when we rewrite the following equations, what we need to really do is solve for y by itself. So we're not going to solve for y numerically, but we're going to solve it in terms of x. So we'll separate the 4y from everything by minusing 3x from both sides. You get 4y equals negative 3x plus 16. And then our final step, divide both sides by 4, respectively. Y is equal to negative 3/4 x plus 16 divided by 4 equals 4. So that is our equation put in the slope-intercept form for 6a. Here we're going to solve for y by itself here. We got to, again, subtract 7x from both sides to get the negative 2y alone. So negative 2y equals negative 7x plus 20. Final step, divide both sides by 2 respectively. Make sure we divide these accordingly. Y is equal to negative 7 over 2 plus negative 10. And that is also our final right there. So if you need to relook at this for your test, please do so. Rewatch this video as many times as you need to prepare for the test Wednesday. Thank you.